Hey guys, we'll be covering all of the Nintendo Switch's game announcements for the second week of April, so let's get started. Our first game announcement this week is the self-described Souls-inspired Sinner Sacrifice for Redemption that takes its action combat seriously as it pins you to fight bosses back to back. The catch is that after every fight you become weaker, not stronger, and it's worth noting that Dark Star Game Studios is behind this and they have some notable talent in their ranks. Announced on the latest issue of Dengeki PlayStation, Disgaea Refined is a remake of Disgaea Hour of Darkness that's releasing in Japan July 26th. So far, we know that it will feature reworked sprites and HD assets. Level 5 announced that Yokai Watch is coming to the Switch later this year. The latest entry of this popular series will feature characters from the Shadow Side anime currently airing in Japan, and the president of Level 5 claims that the game will be extremely enhanced with mechanics that will surprise everyone. Senran Kagura Reflections, which is also known as Shinobi Rafla in Japan, is bringing its wealth and experience of Japanese massages to the West this summer. No word yet on pricing. The first-person psychological horror game Rise of Insanity is coming to the Switch this fall, where you get to play as a doctor treating a difficult patient and a story surrounded by mystery. It's worth noting that this is an AO-rated game for adults only. Sega shadow dropped Football Manager Touch 2018 in the eShop earlier this week. Fully optimized for the hybrid console, this version includes multiple controller support, faster AI decision making, and of course, docked and handheld options. Iconoclasts was announced on Twitter for Switch later this year. This pixel action platformer will have Switch specific features like expanded difficulties and a boss rush mode. Also announced on Twitter is Horizon Chase Turbo, which is an arcade racer featuring 48 cities, 110 tracks, 26 cars with 4-player local split screen and online competitive ghost races. Appearing on the eShop for a May 29th release, Die for Valhalla is an action RPG focusing on hacking, slashing, and crushing your enemies as you help the Vikings save their realm. Skyrogue is also hitting the eShop later this month. This roguelike action flight simulator will have Switch-exclusive Danger Zone motion controls. Animal Super Squad is all about getting to the other side of the level with different vehicles, with unique physics and a level editor that promise endless replayability. The retro point-and-click adventure JRPG formatted Baobab's Mausoleum is hitting the eShop this fall. No word yet if this version will include both current chapters of the game. Disgaea confirmed that rival Megagun is coming to the Switch later this year. This competitive shmup features split-screen top-down battles where you can transform and invade your opponent's screen. Appearing for an April 27th release, Jotun Valhalla Edition is a hand-drawn exploration game that has you explore in Norse mythology to prove yourself to the gods. Sekai Project announced their very first game on Switch. The roguelike RPG A Magical High School Girl will be hitting the eShop later this year. Agatha Knife is a satirical narrative point-and-click adventure game that will be releasing in the eShop later this month. Also coming to the Switch is Fair Room Collection from Flying Higher Works. This collection will feature both Fair Room games that released on the 3DS. Ready for an April 27th eShop release, Bouncy Bob will have you defeating zombie hordes in a single and multiplayer modes featuring 15 arenas and HD Rumble. Rooms: The Unsolvable Puzzle is coming to the Switch this summer. This is a direct sequel to Rooms: The Main Building on Wii and DS that will feature new visuals, characters, and co-op play. Kensho is a mobile port of a matching puzzle game that will be hitting the eShop later this month. Announced and released this week, Eternal Edge is an adventure RPG that I cannot recommend whatsoever. Basically, this game is broken. Every few steps the world loads, so you should probably avoid it at all costs. During a presentation, Flyingworks announced a couple of games for Switch. The first one being Samurai Defender, which is a port of a tower defense mobile game, and then La Nota, which is a popular rhythm game overseas. The newest FMV type game coming to the Switch is Close Nightmare, and it releases in Japan July 19th. Collapsus is a new puzzle game built around unique block crunching and risk-reward source management tactics that is hitting the eShop later this month. And finally, the last game announcement of this week is a port of the classic PlayStation game Logic Mahjong Soryu, Yonin Uchi and Sanin Uchi, which was announced and listed in the Japanese eShop this week. And that's all the games we'll be covering this week. Some really interesting Japanese announcements, and it seems like they're picking up the slack for the slightly bigger Western support. So with all that said, as per always, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate the support. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. See ya.